This is how a tag team match should be done. Fast-paced, exhilarating, and unpredictable. I foresee the Lucha Dragons doing well in the future with performances like this week's. Not to say that their opponents were shabby by any measure. Kid and Cesaro have pretty much been the standard for the tag team division in the absence of the Usos, and despite coming up short this week, they did so again. Lucha Dragons win via pin. New Day, watch out. Everyone's coming for ya. Time for an Elimination Chamber tune-up match, as these two superstars will join 4 other combatants in the Elimination Chamber for the vacant and prestigious Intercontinental Championship. A belt that Barrett is a 5-time champion of, and one of which that R-Truth has yet to hold. All hail King Barrett! How about now? R-Truth wins via lie detector. In comes the recently cast live-action Rocksteady for TMNT 2, as Sheamus made his presence felt. Duh, sure, boss. Yes, Sheamus is going to be Rocksteady in 2016's Ninja Turtles 2. I'm worried as well. You can see that this night was building towards the Elimination Chamber for the Intercontinental title match, as these two are in said chamber for the belt. The big guy has been known for his monster-like brutish behaviour before, but Rusev was such a monster that he got disqualified for failure to listen to the official's warning about his barbaric behaviour against the former Paul Heyman guy. It's all open for Sunday.
Bring out the divas!
2 talented divas. Check. Both have agendas. Check. Both want to be champion. Check. Both are unspeakably gorgeous. Check. Another Elimination Chamber match with 2 challengers for Nikki Bella's belt. It was a decent match, but I would have preferred if Naomi had gone over. Don't get me wrong, I like Paige, but the Divas division needs a fresh face, and Naomi is that face to lead it.
I have something to say.
Michael Cole interviews the NXT champion Kevin Owens and pretty much rains on John Cena. We pretty much get the answer of why he's gone after the 15-time world champion. It's basically he's sick of the dominance and 1,000 different ways to suck. And in their respective areas, Oni and Weavile are doing cartwheels. Hi guys. A typical game plan from the Diet Corporation. Weaken your opponents before the pay-per-view by isolating them from their respective partner and then picking them apart. And if that doesn't work, send in the Goon Squad in J&J. The match was okay, with Roman almost picking up the win until Morons Are Us in Rollins Security decided to intervene and end the match in a disqualification. Further insult to injury was added by the New Day being dispatched to cause more problems. Like they weren't insufferable enough. Ambrose and Reigns thought so as they took out the tag team champions afterwards. It didn't last long as Kane and Skinny Cartman took them apart, with Rollins pedigreeing Ambrose as SmackDown went off the air. What do I have to say about SmackDown this week? Matches were good. I kind of got what Kevin Owens was trying to say in the interview, but he was just coming off as heel for the sake of heel. I mean, what are we really gaining by doing yet another heel promo against John Cena? You know, people have been booing Cena for the last 8 years, of which I am amongst those people, because I want to make this very clear. I don't hate Cena the person. The person, Jonathan Anthony Felix Cena, no issues with him. What he does for the Make-A-Wish Foundation and giving kids, you know, a spot of happiness, you know, a glimmer of light and hope when they need it the most. I'm not going to knock a man who does that. You know, somebody that takes the time out of his day so that one of his fans can meet him, so that they can have some happiness in their life. Kudos to them. More power to them. The character sucks. You know, I don't even need to get into that. It's just... And it's not really Cena's fault. I mean, he could stand up and say something, but... You know, the problem to blame is Vince McMahon, but I've been down that road before. I ain't going down there again. And like I've said before, getting sidetracked, is... It's kind of old school in a bad way to just rip and hate on John Cena, because you don't get over by doing that. And it's just the way that Kevin Owens was saying, I'm sick of the dominance, I'm sick of the 51 different t-shirt styles. Like, dude, just shut up and do it. And Kevin Owens coming, making that promo within the interview. I'm getting he's trying to make a mark, but it's always against Cena. Why not make a mark against Stardust or Dolph Ziggler or Ryback? You know, someone who's up and coming. Well, Ryback and Ziggler have been a lot more than up and coming. They've been established superstars for like the last 6 or 7 years. Well, Ryback's only been established in like the last 3 years, but it's always after somebody. It's almost like Cena's the template for the guy someone has to go after to make a big name. You know, that's kind of old now. Really is. But like I say, despite that, matches were good tonight. Didn't outstay their welcome. Really, the flow kept everyone entertained, including yours truly. I'm going to have to say... And I say this not as a knock to Daniel Bryan all the way that Stephanie and Triple H have been doing that forced gag. Tonight gets a solid B+, because it ended as it needed to. It's a nice strong finish, and Seth Rollins did a pedigree much better this week. And I think that seems to be his replacement for the curb stomp, because a lot of people have been saying that move's a little too dangerous for its own good, of which I happen to agree, but that's opinion-based. And now into the preview for the Elimination Chamber. With this match, it's pretty much everybody has something to gain. Although for Barrett, him winning the Intercontinental Championship, although still a very prestigious prize in this business, it's something he's had 5 times. And when they do give him the belt, they don't do anything with him or the championship. So if Barrett wins it, he's not going to get anything, further gains from it. Rusev has only just come off from losing the United States Championship, so it won't be him. R-Truth is in desperate need of a title. Sheamus has yet to win the Intercontinental Championship, and for him to complete his return winning said title, that'll be a major boost for him. But I think the two favoured superstars in this match, Dolph Ziggler, who's a former 4-time Intercontinental Champion, if I'm not mistaken. You know the usual shtick. If you're watching this on YouTube, Blip, or Dynamic Night, comment section below and correct me, because I'm not 100% sure on this, so again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a 4-time. But Ryback, he's never won a single belt in his time with WWE, and he really needs to win something. And A-Log has gone on record before saying, particularly when we went back to with the WWE Championship situation from a few years ago, Ryback should really start mid-card with either Intercontinental or the United States title. So it's hard to say. One part of me is saying Ziggles, the other one is saying Ryback, so I'm going to say those are going to be my 2 choices. But if I had to pick one, Dolph Ziggler, because he seems to be on the up lately and he's got Lana with him. Lucky son of a gun. I really don't want to talk about this match. The only one I'm going to pick to win the tag team titles is probably Ken and Cesaro, because they're the standard at the moment, and if not, anybody but New Day. New Day are just insufferable. But logic being, because they've only had the tag team titles for a short amount of time as a heel group, they're probably going to retain by the skin of their teeth, I might add. And I hope that's not the case, because I'd actually like to see somebody who's worthy of holding those belts. Give it back to Ken and Cesaro. That's all you gotta do. John Cena versus Kevin Owens. Mulligan. I only say this because I don't really know enough about Kevin Owens to validate any kind of opinion. All I know is he at NXT TakeOver Unstoppable, what he did to Sami Zayn with that powerbomb. Ouch. But if I was calling this match, I'd say Cena to win. So that's why I'm saying Mulligan, because it's already a foregone conclusion. Neville versus Bo Dallas. Neville. Because not even WWE are that stupid to put Neville down this quickly. Although it wouldn't surprise me. The Divas title match. Nikki I Can't Wrestle Bella versus Paige, I suppose the new AJ Lee for all intents and purposes, because she was on AJ's level, versus Naomi, who is underused, underappreciated, and undervalued. Part of me wants Naomi to go over and win her very first title since coming up to the main roster on WWE. But the other side of me, the cynical, sarcastic side, is going to say they're just going to do rinse and repeat as they normally do and do the safe and boring mode, which there's a lot of truth in that actually, and just pick Nikki or Paige to win because they don't want to do anything new. And if that's the case, for shame. Seriously. Naomi is one of the most talented women I have ever had the privilege of seeing on pay-per-view and on SmackDown, and to not give this girl at least one run as Divas Champion is a disservice and discredit to not only her, but the company. So, hopeful side says Naomi, the cynical side says they're going to get either Paige or Nikki. And if that is the case, I like Paige, but I want to see something fresh and new. Overall, Naomi, because, come on, we need a change, and the change is now. And we have, essentially speaking, a return match between these two superstars. The first one since Hell in a Cell 2014, but this time it will be for WWE Gold as Dean Ambrose challenges Seth Rollins for the WWE Undisputed Championship. I want to say Dean. I really do. I really want the Lunatic Fringe to go over and take the prized gold away from the Authority. But I've got an inkling that it's not going to happen. Because that would actually imply that WWE have a clue of what to do and how to do the stories and whatnot. Again, I want to say Dean, but it's going to be Seth. And there's going to be some interference from either Triple H, Kane, or the Goon Squad, so... ugh. Yeah. But who knows? I might get proven wrong. Or I might get proven right, as most of my predictions actually came true for WrestleMania, so it could happen. Until next time, good night from the night.